says through others' eyes. He says when someone points out a shortcoming, our first reaction may be what? Get mad. Flare up. Get defensive. Deny. Yeah. Why is that? Because I can guarantee you that what that person is seeing in me more than likely is true about me. Forget them. Ain't nowhere in here and in the NA book do they require that I look at somebody else. When you notice, the focus always shifts back to me. So why do we get mad that what they are saying or when they are saying it is more than likely true? Why are we mad?
Not want to accept it.
Huh?
Not want to accept it.
Because we don't want to accept it? That what they're saying is false or true?
True.
It's true.
We're dealing with feelings.
We don't want to be judged. We're dealing with our feelings.
Because you're attacking me or
That is a personal attack against me. Okay? He says, but if we truly want to be free, because they said that the truth will
set you free.
But in order to be set free by the truth, the first thing that I have to do is what? Is accept it, is to receive it. To receive would be the same as to accept. And it's hard to do because what that implies is that what they're saying, or when they're saying it, it is a personal attack against my self-esteem. It's a personal attack against me. It's a personal attack against how I viewed myself. And somewhere in the word it says that sometimes we think more highly of ourselves. He says, but. Because they understood, it's okay. They understood that the first reaction is we're going to get mad. But, if we truly want to be free, we will take a good look at the input from our fellow addicts, from our friends, from our support network, from those closest to us. If I really want to be free, now, it don't even mean what they're saying is true. They may be flat out lying. But you know what I learned? It might be worth a look at. I ain't never talked to one person that when I felt like they was criticized, that everything that they said about me was wrong. They may have talked for 30 minutes. And only 1 minute of the conversation was true. But you know what? I missed the 1 minute. Because all I could focus on was the 29 that was wrong. And I missed taking something from the conversation that was good and that could help me and may have been the very thing that I needed. But they're attacking me.
Personalized.
He says at some point in our recovery, it may not be now, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be 2 years from now, but he says at some point in this process, we come to the awkward realization that the way we see ourselves is not necessarily the way others do. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that everybody don't see things my way. You know why? Huh?
That'll help us grow. I mean, we can't grow because if we keep seeing things the way we see it, we're going to stay at the same
We don't get our way and be slow as this.
The bottom line is, I ain't always right. The bottom line is there's other ways to do some things than my way. Now that's hard to accept. Because I got all the answers. I'm the director. He he says, we're probably neither as bad, as good, as beautiful, nor as ugly as we think we are. Even in those parts, the literature says that if we're not careful, we'll focus on all our liabilities. We'll focus on everything that's not going our way and miss all of the beauty that's happening in front of us. Y'all know how that is. Because we think if we having a bad day or we feeling bad, then everything's just bad. And that ain't true. I'm just having a bad day. I'm just having a bad moment. But the problem is when my focus is not shifted, then those bad moments and those bad feelings become bad weeks and months and years. Mm-hmm. And so you may not be as good looking as you think you are. You may not be the person that you exactly thought you were. Because some of us don't think we got no flaws. You know them folks you hang around and ain't nothing wrong with them. And the literature says, man, you are neither as good, as bad, as beautiful, nor as ugly as you think you are. But we are too close to ourselves to, excuse me, to really tell for sure. And that's the problem. And that's why we need people in our lives that don't mind telling us the truth. That's why we need people in our lives to remind us of where we came from. Because I'm too close to me to always, most of the time, tell me the truth. Because the truth about me is tied to my self-esteem. Huh? And so I do everything in my power to build me up rather than operate in humility. Humility means that I got to look at those things that I did, that I said, that I thought, and I got to be willing to look at it from someone else's perspective because mine says, y'all are wrong, I'm right. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. And I'm figured out over these few years there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know that? That others' perspectives don't mean that I'm wrong or they right. It's just another way to look at it. And that's what I need sometimes. I need somebody else's perspective on how to look at this thing. So he says, that's where our friends in the program come in. Caring enough to share with us what they see when they look in our direction. Well, y'all can't stand that, can you? Perfect example for y'all, and y'all probably haven't done it in a while, is the peer review. The peer review. Y'all, we changed it. It ain't the gram no more. It's peer review. But the fact is that somebody is telling you that you got a negative work a negative work ethic and you got a negative attitude, that throw you off. And the reality is that if you look close enough, you are negative. It don't mean you are constantly and consistently negative. No, you just had a period or a moment where you were negative, and I'm just bringing that to your attention so that the negativity don't start to carry over into other areas of your life. Because if you look at it, that's how it starts, doesn't it? It starts, and I wake up feeling bad, and I do nothing to change that feeling, and somebody say good morning, and I cuss them out. And then it leads into the next thing. And then I start making bad decisions. My actions get bad. You see what I'm saying? Now I find myself in a totally bad place. All because of what started over here with a negative attitude. But ain't nothing wrong with me. I mean, you could just walk into a room with people and be frowning and ugly. And what's wrong with you, buddy? Okay. He says, and the thing about this is, I need some people in my life that's not afraid to tell me about me. Even though it may, and I know when I go, it's going to create some discomfort between us. But you know what? I'm willing to tell you the truth because I love you that much. because I don't want you to go out there and kill yourself. And that's what we do. We see stuff in people and we don't say nothing and we allow them to kill themselves, and then, well, I didn't want to say nothing because he was going to get mad. Please tell me. Don't let me fall off and come back. And you talking about I knew you was going to fall off. I'm going to try to hit you as hard as I can. Drop kick you something. Because why you didn't tell me? You follow me? I'd rather you tell me and be wrong than not say anything and have been right. We get mad when folks tell us stuff that ain't true about us. Ain't that something? You mad at a lie. Why? Because it's a personal attack on you. I sure would rather you lie on me than tell the truth about me. Think about that. We ready to fight over a lie. He says, they tell us the good things about ourselves we might not know, and they tell us the hard things too that we may not be able to see ourselves. He says we may react defensively to such help, and in some cases justly so. You see that? Sometimes I am justified by their wrongness. But it don't mean that I gotta let you know you're wrong. However, even malicious remarks about our supposed shortcomings can shed light on aspects of our recovery that we cannot see ourselves. Now, they said malicious. They lying, right? They trying to hurt me. They trying to get me put out. What can I learn from that? There's a lesson in somebody lying on me. What's the lesson? What's the principles? Come on, you better know them, because if not, you're going to keep getting in these wrecks. What are they? They flat out lied on you. It wasn't true. What does he want me to learn from that?
Acceptance. Yeah.
Acceptance. What else? Come on.
Not to deny it.
He lied. He lied.
Allow them to be wrong sometimes.
Allow them to be wrong?
Misinformation.
It goes
It's
back to
also
acceptance.
the expectations of other people too, huh?
Tolerance
Could
of
be.
others.
Tolerance,
Tolerance.
patience, understanding. Those are the things that God wants me to get out of that lie. He may want me to look and see what's going on with that brother. That he was just flat out lying on me for no reason. See, that's hard to do when I'm being attacked there. But there's the lesson that's in it. Maybe it's something going on with him. Hold on, because that's my first response. The first thing I need to do is take in what he said. Find out what parts of what he said, is that true or not? And then move that way. We go straight there. Oh, he tripping, there's something wrong with him. We don't even take the opportunity to take in what he said, because as soon as I realize that he started to criticize me, I just shut him off already. Then he says it can shed light on aspects of our recovery that we can't see ourselves. The light that is shed on my recovery is that maybe I need to practice some more patience. Maybe I need to practice some more tolerance. Maybe that's what God wants me to get out of this. Then he says, wherever a useful insight comes from, for whatever reason it is offered, we cannot afford to discount it. Blow it off. That's what we do, though. As soon as it comes my way, we blow it off. And it could have been the very information that I needed to help me. Maybe to help me shift my focus to help you. Because in order for me to even consider helping you, I had to been all right in some aspects with what you said. But we know that ain't true, is it? We go the other way and don't even want to talk to the brother no more. We don't even want to figure out, how did you come to that? And I believe that if a brother is willing and able to criticize me, he ought to be able to tell me why he see that in me. Then he says, man, we don't need to wait for others to spontaneously offer their insight. Why not? Because we already know? Because we should already know? Because we ought to always be inventorying our own selves. We ought to always be looking and willing to accept that which I see about me, that which I already know about me. See, it lessens the blow when somebody else says it. You know what, man? You're right. I've been dealing with that lately, man, and I've been struggling with it, man. Can you help me with that?
And a lot of times.
See, you talking about lessening the blow. That lessens the blow. What we do is add fuel to it because we get defensive and we start to attack them. Now I am offering that brother into my life to help me deal with the very thing that he has saw in me. Mess him up. Because the reality is, when it's done maliciously, they have no answer. All they had was a drive-by, which was meant to hurt me. But I done took that which was meant to hurt me, y'all know the word, and I took it and I used it for some good, and it done messed them up. He says, when we spend time with our sponsor or other NA members we trust, we can make the first move and ask them to tell me. What do you see in this particular area of my life to which I am blind? When was the last time you went to a brother yourself without them having to come to you? See, that's a little easier too, ain't it? Huh? Now, you may not get the response that you want, but it's a lot easier with me going than you coming. Hey, man, what are you seeing in me, James? What are you seeing in me, Justin? We're afraid to do that. We don't want people to do that. When last time you did that, James? Last time you did that, Carl? Huh? I ain't got to wait for you to come. Because when you come, you're going to come because you're mad, more than likely, which don't make a difference why you come, but you come because you're mad. He says, man, we want a broader vision of our life than just our own. Because in my vision, in my humanistic eyes, is limited, ain't it? Because if I take these off, I'm limited to my vision, ain't it? I'm limited to my human eyes. These help out a little bit, but if I ain't got these, I'm in trouble, right? And that's the way it is in recovery, and that's the way it is in our walk with God. We need people in our life who can see a little further than me. I need some people around me that have a broader vision than I. Because sometimes my vision is a tunnel vision. And I can only see what I want and how I want it and how I ought to get it. Somebody said, well, you know what, man, if you go this way and you go back that way, then, you know. But it takes being willing to ask and accept somebody else's point of view from a broader vision. And I hope that you got some people in your life that can see a little further than you. And hopefully they got some people in their life that can see further than them. And y'all get the point? We always need people in our life that can see a little further than us because we are limited in our own vision. And he says, we want a broader vision of our life than just our own. We can have that vision by seeing ourselves through the eyes of others. Just for today, I seek to see myself as I truly am. It's going to take some work, ain't it? It's going to take a daily inventory. That's going to take a thorough fourth step. It's going to take working 1, 2, 3, 4 and on through that process, and you ain't gonna figure all that out in 6 months. But the key is to get started, headed in that direction. He says, I will listen to what others say about me and see myself through their eyes. That's cold lit. He says, I will listen. I won't just hear you, but I'll listen to you. To listen means I have quieted my mind and I have allowed you to finish saying whatever you're going to say without formulating a reply before you are even through. And so I got to be willing to see myself through others' eyes because they can see things that I cannot see about myself. And when they express that to me, then I got to accept that. Whether it be true or not, it requires some acceptance. Make sense?
They want to set the church take down Christmas Day.